Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're going to go over Yuna as a 5-star with her manifest weapon, and we'll do some a review as well as a gameplay of her. Now keep in mind, this is actually my son, aka Jeff Morrison's account, and so I'll be reviewing it off his account. That being said, he is wanting to restart his YouTube channel, so if you want to check out my main page and click on his link, please like and subscribe to his channel if you can as well. He's going to be trying to doing some different content than myself, but most of the content will still be on this particular channel for the time being. Now the most important question of all is
she hot or not?
Well, honestly, she's a little wholesome to be hot, so let's just leave it at that. Anyways, her Valor chant is not bad. Type resistance down for 1 turn and remove all statuses of all party members for 1 turn, the 1 time. So, I mean, if you need a quick, restore from, for example, poison or anything like that, it's not too bad, and type resistance down can be somewhat offensive. Now, in terms of our 3 moves, we're going to go with these 3 for now. Iridescent Blessing, one of the 2 moves, has been upgraded from her manifest weapon. So instead of just having a regen, look at that. Restore all party members as a large and a full XL regen, and restore all statuses. So much better than the original, and you can honestly say at this point, this heal is more powerful than even the OG Mario. So, if you do have regular OG Yuna and you need a healer, she is better as a pure healer than Mario. Of course, there is some differences there as well. Now, Divine Utterance is the other 5-star enhanced move as well. Obviously, manifest weapons reduce MP costs. Most of her moves aren't very mana intensive, so you don't really have to worry about running out of MP. So now she has power and int for all party members by 30% in the front line, and now type attack increased by 30% only for 3 moves though. So that will run out really quickly during an AF. And let's be honest, as a pure support, she doesn't have much offense. She does have the Invoked Spirit, which I'll go over shortly. But I mean, I don't think you'd leave her in during the AF. So you might want to have to find a way to do that before the AF if you want to set up the increased power and int. Now, in terms of her other moves in her kit, Malign Explosion as well as Vigorous Charm are extremely awesome. You can tailor her use to whoever you're taking on. So if it's a physical boss, you can use Vigorous Charm, which is powered down, physical resistance down by 25%. If it's a magic user mage, you can use int down, type resistance down by 25% for 3 turns, and therefore reducing your overall damage while increasing the damage of your team against that particular enemy. And also, the advantage over using her instead of using, for example, mana is, although mana can down theirs and up yours, in terms of power down, up by 35%, the problem is that if the enemy has mixed moves, this one is much better in terms of applying 2 different debuffs, and obviously, 2 additional debuffs in terms of physical resistance or, magical resistance. So you can see her 5-star board. Now, I didn't talk too much about the Invoke Spirit. One thing I will say is that it is one of her only offensive moves. Small magical non-type AoE plus inflicts Mega Poison, which I'll show you later on in this video. And you can see her, obviously she is an Oracle there. Now remember, if you do have the AS version, it does add speed plus 10 to the OG version, making her a lot faster, and to be fair, most support healers are much faster than their counterparts, either regular mages or even fighters. You can see the Grasta is mostly water resistant. Let's take her out for a spin. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So being that she is a pure support, she does even less damage than Mario. Remember that Mario actually has that, magic, the Holy Burst, which does significant amount of damage actually as a single target non-type. However, you can see that the Invoke Spirit does a small amount of damage to start, and then the Mega Poison does significant amounts of damage, over 10k for most enemies, and can tick upwards of, 15k or so. Keep in mind that with her own boost, she can int power boost herself, and the int does affect the power of the poison. So, her damage is definitely affected by int in that sense, and keep in mind that poison is affected by that. That also goes for enemies that you're up against. So if the enemy does a lot of poison, then by reducing their int, if it's a magical attack, it will reduce your damage as well. So you can see once she boosted herself, you can see it's 15k, and don't forget the poison can stay for more than one turn as well. So it actually, in a longer battle, 10 to 15k per click, not actually too bad. Now, if she's going solo against some of the even weaker bosses in the game, she can't really do significant amounts of damage. And let's be honest, I mean, we don't expect a pure support user against an enemy as well. Now, note that I used Vigorous Charm, and one of the things I will say is a disadvantage for Yuna specifically is that she really suffers from the 3 move slot thing. So just so you know, most characters can only do 3 slot moves, and obviously with Japan later on, once you have 80 light or shadow on the particular character, you can have 4 move slots. She only has 3, and so a lot of times you have to choose between whether or not you're going to put all support or some offense or some heal or a mixture of both. So you really have to tailor her kit and the moves she's bringing into a particular battle, and that makes you kind of switch her moves around all the time. That being said, she is one of the most versatile debuffers in the game, and especially if you got her earlier on than now, she was useful against many super bosses. So I'll show you against Melvillithin. Now obviously Melvillithin isn't as tough as before. You can probably 2-turn AF this, but just demonstrating the power of having, for example, a support like Yuna, plus either pure offense or even a combination of shielding from other magic users. Now obviously we are at the mercy of RNG, and Ocean Force is being used to boost the power and int of Melvillithin. Sometimes it starts with an AoE water magical attack, sometimes it starts with a physical single attack, and so, if you're applying the wrong debuff, you can easily die. That being said, we did use Earth Wall with AS Myris, as well as both Malign Expulsion as well as Vigorous Charm to power and int debuff by 25%, while also reducing their physical and type resistance by 25%, which allows for more damage from your team. We also have an all-earth team, and again, having those debuffs in place allows your team to survive a lot more. So you can see, if you try doing it without debuffs, you're taking 3, 4, 5,000 per turn, in which case, your whole party will be wiped with that AoE. That being said, with the int down, plus type shield up, and of course, earth users have natural resistance to water, we can easily end the battle, and of course we could even end the battle with Yuna in place, since we have powerful characters such as AS Elga, as well as Deidre and AS Myris. Remember, during AF, if you wanted to use Divine Utterance to boost power and int, you could have done that, and then it'll allow 3 additional moves to be powered up by type attack. That means your elemental attacks will be increased by 30%. So in conclusion, I do think that the Manifest Weapon for Yuna allows her to become a pure support and, like I said, a pure healer. I don't think she really completely replaces Mariel, in that Mariel does have Aurora Force, which I know some other characters have some type shields, but let's be honest, Aurora Force is one of the 50% shielding in the game for elemental damage, and I think only Radius has something very similar, and of course zone setters can use the zone to protect 50% against their opposite attack. But if you want some versatility, and you want to either debuff int, debuff power up your own team, there's no better person than Yuna. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.